What's up? It's your girl Kia. Back for another video. I'm happy that I'm getting more consistent with the videos. I'm sorry about my voice. My husband and I are both getting over the flu. The tail end of it, but we're both feeling a ton better. So yay. If you have not gotten a flu shot or gone to the doctor, if you think your cold is lasting longer than it should, go to the doctor. Because it could turn into a bunch of other things. It could turn into a respiratory infection. So definitely go to the doctor. Today's video is going to be about Meghan Markle and the catastrophe that is what they're calling Megexit. Her and Harry have decided to kind of give up their senior roles as royals, which, give us a lot of responsibility. And a lot of people are blaming it on Meghan and saying Harry is spoiled and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And they're not looking at the whole totality of Harry's experience with being a royal and blaming it on Meghan. Even Piers Morgan put out a really nasty, disgusting tweet saying, Meghan left her family behind, left her father behind, her family behind, left her friends behind, then took Meghan away from took Harry away from his brother, then took Harry away from the monarchy. That explains it all. And to me, Piers Morgan and a lot of the Brits, when it comes to Meghan, have been the most racist I've ever seen them in ever. Like, it's so funny that they praise black women when we're on runways as models in Britain, but the second that we are more than just something pretty to look at, something with power and control, now we are these horrible people who are ruining things. I mean, the British press has ripped Meghan apart since day one. I think the press has been hard on the royals in general. Specifically, Kate had a little bit of a rough stint, but a little bit of a rough stint. I don't know if everybody remembers when they first got married, Kate was on vacation, or they might have been on their honeymoon. Somebody with a very, very, very long range lens took a picture of her topless. Like, she was in a private, secluded area. They had swept the area, and this person still took a photo from like a mile or half a mile away of her topless at a villa. And William was very mad about that. He was very upset about that. And it kind of shows that the British press is they're just dogs chomping at the bit half the time. And they have had some horrible headlines about Meghan. They have said horrible things about her. And even when she came in, her being black, and she's not even black. I know it's going to sound really crazy to the viewers. She's not black like me. She's not walking in there from the south side of St. Pete with dreads in her hair, brown skin. She came in a very polished brown woman, is what I like to call it. Like, she came in very polished and brown. She was a successful actress in America. Like, she wasn't like some hood rat girl with gold teeth and all that kind of crap. Like, but it was just that she was brown in general that they just didn't like, and they were very anti that, and the press was hard on her. So let's talk about what Piers Morgan said. Piers Morgan said that she left her family behind. That is not the case. Those of us who follow Meghan, who watch the news, who see how she is, she's very, very close with her mother. Her mother has gone to the point now where I think her mother is flying back and forth very often to Britain. They actually spent Christmas with her. She's close to her mom. Who she's not close to is her father. And we all know why. Her father kind of sold her out to the press. He was supposed to walk her down the aisle, which she wanted, and then it came this whole thing of him not being able to because he was sick, and then she was concerned, and come to find out he's not sick. It was just a lot of, for lack of better words, hooey from him. And then he started interviewing with all these people about her. Then he started selling stories to the press. Then her sister in the wheelchair, don't know her name, Stephanie, Becky, Bonnie, I don't know, a white name, and that girl or woman was doing the same stunts, saying that Meghan is spoiled, she turned her back on us, and she's this and she's that. I don't care what my brother does to me or my sister-in-law. I am never, ever, ever going to put them blast on the news if they ever became famous. It's not worth the money, because at the end of the day, that's still family. But they don't care. Her sister even her half-sister went as far as going to the Buckingham Palace saying that she was Meghan's sister and wanted to see Meghan. And, the guards humored her, and she went on about her business, and she had a camera crew that day. So why would I want to be around people who would love to sell me out for their own gain? I don't want to be around people like that, and neither does Meghan. Meghan is close to her mom. He's like, oh, she turned her back on her friends. How do you know? You're not her friend. You don't talk to that girl. And I'm pretty sure the friends that Meghan does have are very aware that her privacy means more to her than anything, and they like to keep her privacy. They're not selling stories to the press. They're not giving comments. They're not saying this, they're not saying that. They are attending her wedding. They are being friends with her. They're supporting her and her baby and her husband, and that's it. So that's that part. They're acting like Harry has had this wonderful relationship with being a prince. He has not. He has suffered with depression. We all know when he was drinking and drugging while he was in college, which, was a small form of depression, which he admitted to having depression. He doesn't like being a prince. He wants it just to be the everyday guy who wants to volunteer all the time and travel the world helping others, just like his mother did. He loves his wife, loves his child, and I think a part of him wishes maybe if we took a step back, we can have a normal life and I can still do what I need to do to support my family and support all of my causes. Second part with him is that he loves his wife. If any husband, any real man sees their wife getting battered every day by different people in the press, wouldn't you want to say, nah, forget this, I'm done. I'm not doing this. I'm not putting my wife through this, because at the end of the day, she is the person I get in bed with. She is the person that I, cuddle my child with. She's the person I'm raising a child with. She is what means the world to me, not, being royal. And just because, what I don't understand is just because he's not a part of the royal family entitled doesn't mean he doesn't still love his family. And that's how a lot of people are making it seem like, oh, he's turning his back on his family. No, he's turning his back on the craziness that is being a part of a royal family. And there's nothing wrong with that. I know if anybody watches The Crown, if anybody watches the show Crown, Prince Albert abdicated the throne. Even though he loved his family, he loved his wife more and wanted to be with her, Wallace Simpson. And his family turned their back on him because he turned his back on the family monarchy and what he should have stood for. But he chose love and wanted to keep his family, and he couldn't. So I hope I know they still love him, but I hope it's not something where if you give up the royal title that you all of a sudden give up your family. Piers Morgan and a lot of people are saying how Meghan came between Harry and William. I don't think that's the case. Brothers, as they get older and lives change, they don't stay as close. I know this for a fact. My husband has a brother who he is close to, but was a lot closer to before he got married the first time. I'm the second wife. And they kind of separated. Then when my husband broke up with his first wife, their relationship changed once again because the dynamic was just different. Then they got a little bit closer. Then I came along. Their relationship changed once again. Now that his brother is also engaged and soon to be married, very soon to be married, the relationship has changed once again. Once you have a partner, if you're brother and sister, the relationship changes. I mean, nobody wants that, but it just changes. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think they still love each other. They respect each other. They're brothers, but they're just not as close as everybody wants them to be. They're actually regular brothers. I mean, regular brothers are close. They love each other, but, they don't have to spend every waking moment fawning over each other. A lot of people are also saying that it's a Meg and Kate situation, that they don't like each other. I also don't think that's the case. These are two very, very different women who are now forced together by marriage. A lot of sister-in-laws aren't best friends. Let's keep it 100. My brother-in-law's soon-to-be wife, her and I are not close. It has nothing to do with me thinking she's a bad person or not liking her. It's nothing to do with that. It got dark because I had to park in this other place. It's because her and I are just in two different places in our lives. I'm older than her by a decade. She also lives in New York. She also got a whole group of friends who are about the drinking and the partying and the this and the that. And that's great. She's in her 20s. She better do it up big because that's the time you're supposed to do it. So her and I aren't close. If she needs me for anything, I'm 1,000% there. When she has a baby, I'm 1,000% there. When I have a baby, I know she'll be there, be supportive, loving. Like my son, she's very supportive, loving of that relationship. She fostered that relationship with him. That's great. But we're not best friends. We're not close. It has nothing to do with not liking or liking somebody. So the press trying to make it seem like all of a sudden sister-in-laws are supposed to be best friends. I'm sorry to cuss, but fuck out of here. That's not realistic with sister-in-laws. At most, you should hope sister-in-laws are cool. For the sake of the parents. We're cool. We're good. Cool. That's all that needs to be. As long as they're not ripping each other's hair out at the dinner table, then all's well. Yay. And I know that sounds crazy, but that's how families are. I I know that, excuse me, let me take back I know. I hope that Meghan and Harry agonized over this decision before they just made it. I hope this is not just something bad happened and this is a knee-jerk reaction, because knee-jerk reactions never end in great endings. They always end up with consequences. So I understand the monarchy is shaken up right now. They're very caught off guard, but I hope there's a real conversation happening, because these people are family. Regardless of this monarchy crap that everybody likes, they're still family. I think that Harry is a good husband for trying to protect his wife from the British press. I also think Meghan is smart for trying to take control of her life. Just because you marry into a family doesn't mean you have to take their BS. It doesn't mean you have to take on everything that is now making you feel bad about yourself and feeling sad. We all remember the interview they did when they were in Africa on ABC, and when the news reporter asked her, you know, how are you doing? And she looked so confused at that question, and she actually said, no one's ever asked me that before. And she looked, she was about to cry. And that was a real moment, I feel like, because I don't think anybody asked her how she's doing. Her mother, of course, as her husband does, whatever, but I don't think anybody asked her, and I don't think anybody really cares. I think they say, well, you made it into this, you knew it was going to happen, you need to handle this. We all sign up for stuff and not realizing what's going to happen. Marriage is the biggest thing that people sign up for and have no idea how to do it until they're doing it. I talk about marriage all the time because I'm one of those people who, you want to be married because it sounds like a great thing to do. You know, you want to be a wife because, ooh, that's a great title. Ooh, Mrs. something something. Yes, girl. Yes, the girls are gagging for me. But in reality, you get into it and it's work. It's work. You're dealing with family. You're dealing with religion. You're dealing with different cultures. You're smashing stuff together. So you can say she knew what she was getting into, but no one knows until you're actually in the fire, until you know that it's something that you don't want. So I wish them the best of luck. They're saying they're moving to Canada. I'm hoping that they move wherever works for their family, whether that's to South Africa, whether that's to Central America, South America, America, Canada. It doesn't matter. As long as they're happy, as long as their baby is supported and they're feeling supported. So that's my spiel. Drop down the comments. Let's get the conversation started. Like and subscribe to my channel. If you want to know what my real voice sounds like, check out back in a couple videos. You can follow me on Twitter at Kia Shakur. And that's it. I can't wait to talk to you guys next time. Bye.